Does it bother you that so many people are happy to see you fail?
LeBron James back in Cleveland. Cavs right now taking it to the Lakers. Dominant second half.
LeBron so frustrated right now. Just a series of things just not going the Lakers' way.
James just 11 points as the Lakers lay a huge egg.
And I got a message for the king. I'm
What's
dead
that?
serious. Retire after this season. Call it quits. Seriously. LeBron, is this on? I'm dead serious. The writing could not be more on the wall, right? From everywhere you go.
Absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, all the people that was rooting on me to fail, they got to wake up tomorrow, have the same life that they had before they woke up today.
LeBron James is reaching a point in his career where time is no longer on his side, and his refusal to step away is increasingly seen as a burden not just on himself, but on the Lakers as a whole. Fans have been voicing this frustration for years, watching the team struggle to build consistency while orbiting around an aging superstar whose presence still commands everything but no longer guarantees results. What's changed now is that the criticism is no longer limited to fans or media voices. It's coming from legends of the game themselves. The message is becoming harder to ignore. LeBron's era is winding down, and retirement has been knocking, even if he refuses to answer the door. This isn't just casual noise or internet chatter. It's a growing acknowledgement that the league has moved on while LeBron continues to hold on. And it doesn't stop with Michael Jordan. When figures like Magic Johnson and Shaquille O'Neal begin to echo similar sentiments, going further than they ever have before, it signals a major shift in how LeBron's late career presence is being viewed. These are not players known for reckless criticism. They are icons who understand legacy, timing, and the cost of overstaying the moment. Their willingness to speak so openly underscores how real this conversation has become. What once felt unthinkable is now being said out loud. LeBron's continued run is no longer about extending greatness, but about delaying an ending that everyone else can already see.
How many more years you think LeBron's gonna play?
I hope he retires soon because I hated the way I retired because I sucked.
What many people keep overlooking is that none of this began this season. The shift has been unfolding quietly for years, and the rise of Luka Doncic was always the most logical next chapter for the Lakers. The only person who seems genuinely caught off guard by it is LeBron James himself. For anyone paying attention, the signs have been impossible to ignore. By the start of 2026, Luka was no longer just part of the conversation. He had become the gravitational center of the team. The All-Star voting told the story clearly. More than 5.2 million fans voted for Luka, while LeBron finished far behind at just over 3.1 million, and no one acted surprised by the gap. Fans, media, players, and even legends of the game all appeared to agree that the moment had arrived, raising an unavoidable question about why a 41-year-old LeBron was still trying to match up with players 2 decades younger. The answer wasn't found only in voting totals, but on the court itself. Early in 2026, Luka delivered a statement performance against the Pelicans, posting 32 points, 11 assists, and 9 rebounds with a calm confidence that made it look routine. 2 nights later against the Grizzlies, he followed it up with 28 points, 10 assists, and 12 rebounds, further cementing his control of the offense. His presence elevated everyone around him, with Austin Reeves confidently taking and making shots he once passed up, and Rui Hachimura cutting harder and finishing plays with new precision. What stands out most is that none of this depended on LeBron's involvement. To many observers, including longtime legends, this transition has been hinted at for years, a gentle but persistent signal that LeBron's time with the Lakers, and perhaps in the league itself, was nearing its conclusion. While LeBron may still be chasing validation and trying to reinforce his place among the all-time greats, nothing he accomplishes at this stage is likely to change how fans compare him to figures like Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. Even Magic Johnson acknowledged this reality in a 2025 press conference, reinforcing the sense that the future had already arrived, whether LeBron was ready to accept it or not.
Make him a bad boy and the best that's ever done it. Don't get it twisted. I love LeBron, but no.
That mindset is exactly what made Michael Jordan the ultimate competitor and, in the eyes of many, the greatest to ever do it. There's no confusion or mixed message here, acknowledging that reality isn't an act of disrespect toward LeBron James. In fact, it's often said by people who openly admire him. The point isn't about tearing LeBron down. It's about being honest about where the league is headed. Magic Johnson has made that clear, and he's not alone. Shaquille O'Neal has been just as direct, arguing that the Lakers can't afford to spend another season treating the roster like a farewell celebration for a 41-year-old star. According to Shaq, the focus has to shift toward the future, and that future revolves around Luka Doncic. He believes the organization should be planning the next decade around Luka's prime, not delaying progress to extend one final chapter. From that perspective, the message from the legends is consistent. Respect LeBron's career, appreciate what he's done, but recognize that the torch has already been passed, and the Lakers' priority must now be building around the player who represents what comes next. That mindset is exactly what made Michael Jordan the ultimate competitor and, in the eyes of many, the greatest to ever do it. There's no confusion or mixed message here, acknowledging that reality isn't an act of disrespect toward LeBron James. In fact, it's often said by people who openly admire him. The point isn't about tearing LeBron down. It's about being honest about where the league is headed. Magic Johnson has made that clear, and he's not alone. Shaquille O'Neal has been just as direct, arguing that the Lakers can't afford to spend another season treating the roster like a farewell celebration for a 41-year-old star. According to Shaq, the focus has to shift toward the future, and that future revolves around Luka Doncic. He believes the organization should be planning the next decade around Luka's prime, not delaying progress to extend one final chapter. From that perspective, the message from the legends is consistent. Respect LeBron's career, appreciate what he's done, but recognize that the torch has already been passed, and the Lakers' priority must now be building around the player who represents what comes next.
At some point we will see LeBron retire, but you got a 25-year-old Luka Doncic, so that means we got another good 10 years.
But here's where the discussion takes an even more serious turn. Cedric Maxwell, a Finals MVP and two-time NBA champion who played alongside Larry Bird and understands elite basketball at the highest level, stepped in with a comparison that immediately caught attention. Maxwell didn't speak in hype or exaggeration. He spoke from experience, pointing out that Luka Doncic mirrors Bird in the ways that truly matter. He highlighted Luka's exceptional court vision, his ability to read defenses several steps ahead, and how he bends defenders to his will without relying on raw speed or explosive athleticism. According to Maxwell, Luka controls the tempo of a game with intelligence and patience, dictating outcomes through positioning, timing, and decision-making rather than sheer physical force. That kind of command, he explained, is rare and timeless, the same quality that once allowed Larry Bird to dominate games without overwhelming opponents physically. When a player of Maxwell's background draws that comparison, it signals something deeper than praise. It suggests that Luka isn't just a rising star, but a foundational talent capable of shaping an era through skill, awareness, and complete control of the game's rhythm.
When someone like you says that Luka is a carbon copy of Larry Bird, that's obviously a more powerful statement than...
I said right now, I think that you asked me, so who would Larry Bird what would he be like in the NBA? And Luka would be him or he'd be Luka.
These aren't exaggerated opinions or reactionary sound bites. They're grounded, first-hand evaluations coming from people who study the game professionally and understand winning basketball. Analysts such as Jovan Buha have consistently noted that the Lakers' offense has looked noticeably smoother and more structured, with Luka Doncic directing play. The ball moves with purpose, spacing is cleaner, and possessions unfold with clarity rather than chaos, creating improvements that show up clearly in the data. During January 2026, lineups featuring Luka without LeBron posted a first-quarter net rating of plus 5.2, a clear indicator of increased efficiency and control. The clutch numbers reinforce the same message. Against Memphis in a back-to-back series, Luka handled a usage rate above 34% while maintaining elite efficiency, producing a box plus-minus of plus 10.8. Those figures don't represent empty production. They reflect command, decision-making, and consistency under pressure. At the same time, LeBron has faced ongoing physical setbacks, limiting his availability and rhythm, which has only sharpened the contrast. Luka's approach during this stretch spoke volumes about leadership. While acknowledging LeBron's absence, he emphasized a next man up mindset and focused entirely on winning, signaling readiness to lead without hesitation. When LeBron missed the opening stretch of the 2025-26 season, the Lakers didn't stall. They thrived, posting a strong record with Luka averaging near triple-double production and driving the offense with poise and efficiency. Team metrics during that span remained positive on both ends of the floor, while performance dipped once rotations were adjusted again. Meanwhile, LeBron's individual numbers reflected a natural decline. Lower scoring averages, reduced efficiency, and decreased playmaking impact compared to his prime years, combined with ongoing back and nerve issues that have limited his minutes. Even historically impressive milestones, such as his long-standing double-digit scoring streak, came to an end this season, underscoring the shift taking place. Coaches have subtly acknowledged the challenge of reintegrating an older centerpiece into a system that had found rhythm without him. Taken together, the evidence points to a clear transition. Luka is no longer preparing to take over. He already has, showing both the production and composure required to lead the Lakers forward, while the team itself has begun to operate more effectively around a new center of gravity.
Since we've gotten Bron back, we haven't been as organized offensively, too many random possessions. So, that's on me. So it's those three things, defensive clarity, role clarity, and offensive organization.
When your own head coach starts openly questioning your on-court impact, that's when the situation becomes impossible to ignore, because coaches rarely speak that candidly unless the problem is real. Beyond basketball, distractions around LeBron have only added fuel to the conversation, with constant noise about influence, decision-making, and priorities that seem to pull focus away from team growth rather than push it forward. At this stage, his continued presence in Los Angeles feels less like a strategic move for the Lakers and more like a personal mission to squeeze out one final title run, hoping it reshapes how his career is compared to other legends. Even then, history sets hard limits. Some achievements simply can't be matched, no matter how long you stay. Meanwhile, the Lakers already have a 26-year-old centerpiece fully prepared to lead, produce, and carry the responsibility night after night without hesitation. LeBron's name still commands respect, and his resume will always matter, but the reality unfolding on the court tells a different story. For a long time, comparisons were handled carefully out of respect, but at this point the evidence has outgrown politeness. Luka Doncic is outperforming LeBron right now, and the gap is not small. The numbers make that clear. Luka is producing at a higher level across scoring, playmaking, rebounding, and defensive impact, while handling heavier minutes and closing games with consistency, while LeBron's role has been reduced by physical limitations and managed workloads. Historically, Luka's early career achievements also stack up favorably, showing faster growth, higher peaks, and greater influence on team success within the same time frame. More importantly, one player represents continuity and commitment, while the other is navigating the natural decline that comes with time. That contrast alone sends a clear message about who the franchise should build around. When past greats speak about retirement approaching, it isn't meant as an insult. It's an observation rooted in reality. Stepping away now wouldn't erase LeBron's legacy. It would protect it. Staying too long, however, risks allowing the game to make that decision for him. Luka has already arrived, already taken control, and already shaped the team's direction. What remains undecided is not the future of the Lakers, but how LeBron chooses to exit this chapter, on his own terms or after the moment has passed him by.